Baltimore Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse. Sacrifice the poor for love of money and profit. Want to give all the honor, glory, and praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, RAWACHAA, QADASH. Double honors to the elders at Great Millstone, taught me this truth through the Spirit. Seeking honors to the elect, peace and blessings to the one-third in confusion of faces, and the four corners of the earth, Shalom. Gonna be a quick video. I know you heard about the boat that floated into the bridge in Baltimore, and there were some casualties there. Well, this is the reason why. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 10. For the love of money is the root of all evil. We're going to get to it. Which while some covet after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. Now, the dude you see on the screen, his name is Lee Camp. He was a comedian, the now turned political activist, but he used a lot of satire and comical formats to express how he exposes the deep state. Now, he claims to be Jewish. Give him that. But what I'm saying is he really exposes the propaganda, the capitalistic system where the rich just constantly beat down on the poor and they just keep taking all the crumbs that we're grabbing at every day just to keep our heads afloat. Like, he really goes in depth on things like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play a 2-minute snippet that I took from like an hour-long video that he did on some other matters, but this is going to go into why the bridge was hit and it could have been prevented.
Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore was recently sanctioned by regulators, not the bridge, the cargo ship company, for blocking its employees from directly reporting safety concerns to the U.S. Coast Guard in violation of a seaman whistleblower protection law, according to regulatory filings. I'm going to do everything I can through this segment to not make a seaman joke, okay? That's going to be go.
Hey, he was a comedian at first.
I'll be having that fight in real time. 8 months before a Maersk Line limited chartered cargo ship crashed into the Baltimore Bridge, likely killing 6 people and injuring others. It did kill 6 people. They've been underwater for the past.
And also, from what I heard in his live feed, he said that those who were casualties were actually immigrants. Now, I don't know if it's Northern Kingdom or I don't know if it's some heathens from across seas, but nonetheless, though, they were migrants or immigrants, whatever word you want to use.
3 days, so I don't think they're going to find any guys just hanging out down there. The Labor Department sanctioned the shipping conglomerate for retaliating against an employee who reported unsafe working conditions aboard a Maersk-operated boat. So, for those of you who haven't been paying attention to the details of this, the boat lost power before it hit the bridge. So, you have 2 things going on. One is, why does a bridge go down immediately when a ship hits it? That seems a little odd. But beyond that, why did the boat hit the ship? It hit the ship. Why did the boat hit the bridge? It hit it because it lost power. Why did it lose power? We don't quite know yet, but we know that company was telling anybody who's a whistleblower, telling anyone who has problems with safety, telling anyone who says that, things aren't right on board. They're telling them, don't you dare go to the Coast Guard. Don't you go to regulators. Don't you talk to anyone outside of the company. You come to us. And that is the only way.
So pretty much what he's saying is that individual saying, listen, we need to find ways that we can keep this boat, this vessel afloat and to meet all regulations. But they're saying, oh no, that's fine, don't worry about it. And then people that were more assertive about it, they lost their job. Right? So this is why the collapse happened at the bridge. The ship lost power. And when the ship has to slow down, it's not like a car where you hit the brakes. You actually have to reverse the engines from the propulsion system to go in reverse to slow down that vessel. That's why they crashed into the bridge. There was no power. Why? Because those who are of the lobbyists, those who are profiteers who want to make money by cutting corners, pretty much said, maybe one day Maybe one day we run out of power. Maybe one day something happen to where we may lose some casualties. But in the meantime, let's make as much money as we can without having to fix these costly repairs. Now, what it done is cost lives. That's why I opened up with 1 Timothy 6 and 10. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. Evil means an ill time. Can you imagine at night if you're driving on that bridge and then all of a sudden a boat or ship just hits it, and now your wife maybe, or your unborn child or infant child or your elderly mother or anyone, all of a sudden this bridge is going down. You're all inside these vehicles and you're trapped. Don't be in no Tesla. Don't be in nothing electric, because see, you ain't got no roll down windows. How you gonna get out? Anyways, the whole point of the matter is that was evil. Why? Because they wanted to make extra money.
That we will allow you to work here. But here's the thing: when they actually did that and come to managers about various problems on board, they're fired, which is also illegal. So what does this have to do with capitalism, you may ask? Some of you already know. Well, this is the gravity of capitalism. The companies take over the regulators. They take over. They do everything they can to stop workers from doing anything that could harm profits, that could get in the way. They don't care about life. They don't care about whether these workers end up dying on a ship, because if it's going to be an expensive repair, it's much more profitable to have a boat that is.
Also, I think he said it earlier. There was an employee that had concerns about these regulations that weren't being kept up to par, got fired. Then they had to reimburse him with over $700,000 in debt. I mean, and back pay or whatever, and also wages and what they call it, punitive damages and stuff like that. Yeah, they will fire you because you actually want to do your job. Wow. And this reminds me of Sirach 13 and 3. The rich man hath done wrong, and yet he threateneth withal. The poor is wrong, and he must entreat also. Yeah, so the individual that wanted $700,000, he was done wrong. Why? He was wronged because the rich man was doing wrong. Because he wanted to do right. Understand?
Running well, that could kill people at any time, and just keep that going. Because what are you going to lose? Lose a few workers? Well, life means nothing under capitalism. There's no innate dollar amount on.
Life means nothing under capitalism. What's the definition of capitalism? Capitalism is trying to make infinite profit with finite resources. Let me say it again. Capitalism is trying to make infinite profit off of finite resources. Infinite means there's no limit. Finite means there is a limit. There is a limit on natural resources, and there is a limit on manpower on the earth. But they're willing to run the earth and man into the ground just to make $1, which they can't even take with them on their last breath. And with that being said, Sirach chapter 11, verse 19 through 21. Whereas he saith, I have found rest, and now will eat continually of my goods. And yet he knoweth not what time shall come upon him, and that he must leave those things to others and die. Right. So you're willing to run the earth and man into ground, but you're still going to leave it to someone who's not going to even be profitable. DJ Trump is a prime example. He's what you call a trust fund baby. His money came from Dada, his papa. Yeah? Sirach 11 and 20. Be steadfast in thy covenant, and be conversant therein, and wax old in thy work. Marvel not at the works of sinners, but trust in the Lord and abide in thy labor. For it is an easy thing in the sight of the Lord on the sudden to make a poor man rich. So, I'm going to let Lee Camp finish out the rest of his video, and I'm going to close out.
A human life. So, but there's plenty of money on keeping those ships running. So that's how capitalism works. It doesn't care about life or safety or any of those things.
Facts. So with that being said, I pray you is edifying, fed, stay in the spirit, don't fear it, just endure it. Ask for forgiveness, pray without ceasing, stay humble, remain diligent, call my sha'Allah, mufla ball, shalom. And remember, that bridge collapsed because they wanted to make an extra buck. What the?